Hi, I'm TIM ARD, and welcome to Along the ForestApps Road. I wanted to take a little time and do a little bit more on the STIHL HEXA chain filing. I've had some questions, some still interest as far as how does the file work. On that, I did some cutting on a dead sweet gum yesterday, taking it down and put that video up. And I need to kind of go over this chain and make sure it's in good shape. Then I'm going to be doing a little bit of cutting on some other hardwoods. I've got some oak and some sweet gum, larger sweet gum, to be able to do a little bit of some cutting tests and see how it works. But I want to again show you a little bit of the differences in how the tooth is actually designed, and then how this hexa file actually works. So we'll do that. So concept here on the file, the way it is, you have a flat side on top with a indicator line so you can help to angle correctly, and then on the opposite side is a smooth surface, and then your filing surfaces are here, and more or less two sides of that, one for the left cutters, one for the right cutters. You file from the inside to the outside, so you line that up and then basically go through with pressure back into the tooth, but letting that file rest down in the gullet of the chain. That's the process of it. And so it takes and cuts a V in the side. If you've got any damage on top of the chain, you just basically roll it back towards the tooth surface just a little bit, and then you can go back into position with it flat against the gullet, and that sets that tooth. So that's basically it. So I'll do a few of them here and see how they look. But it's so much easier really than you have with a round file, because the round file you have to hold a certain height. So trying to keep that in the proper position. And that's the reason why a guide makes it nice to do that with, just to keep the file. And what they tell me is you want about 1/5 or 20% diameter of the file above the top plate or above the point to be able to get that file in the right position so that it cuts the chisel angle correctly. Well, this one you just basically let it rest. A little bit of light pressure maybe in the bottom, but most of it is back pressure against the tooth surface. And I'm just cutting here until it gets smooth out. You want to make sure you keep that indicator line, I call it, on top of the tooth. Make sure that you keep that in line with this line on top of the file. So witness mark, follow that angle with this indicator line on the file, and that should keep you at the proper top angle. And because it rests on the side plate in that V, and then the flat portion of the file is down in that gullet area, as the tooth goes down in height, it basically takes and lowers down the cutting surface on the file so that it stays the proper height all the way back. This file, I've sharpened this tooth. It's close to 50% back, at least 30% back. We'll take a look at it underneath and the side here in a little bit. So this file is starting to get some wear. I'm hoping I can get another one before too long. But all the tests, I think, are completed, and so it's in the process of getting everything ready to go to start to fill the marketplace. I don't know which country they're going to work in first as far as getting supplies out, but I'm hoping it's the United States, because I'm thinking this design is for full profile chain and saws, is going to be a pretty neat item on the marketplace. It doesn't take a whole lot of understanding to make it work, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. So I'm back around. I put a red mark on top, so we've done the entire side there now. A little bit of the right side or left side cutters now. You can see maybe a little bit better with the position there. So the alignment mark is on top, lined up with your witness mark on top of the tooth. It's pressure down and then back, but just light pressure down, just to keep it in that gullet area. It just rides along. It takes that gullet out and also cuts the side plate, and also it works kind of like a flat file too. If you've got damage there, you can be able to take that off with the surface very easily on the edge of the chrome. I think my file is getting a little bit too dull, so it's very hard to get that side angle back enough, but you can see here on this, you can see the way about the middle of the side plate, you'll see there's a V, and that's where that side angle of the file is actually hitting, and so that's the part that cuts that V up to it, and it's quite interesting how it works. Taking a few extra strokes here so we can make sure I'm getting all that side back with this dull file. But it's so neat how you really have to watch when you have a round file with the file teeth all the way around, because you can be able to get down into the rivets and tie straps very quickly, or hook the chain very quickly. And with this, it's it kind of works on a hook idea, but it won't actually hook that side plate. Make sure it's flat, place the pressure back into the side. Oh, chrome flashing going from the inside to the outside. As soon as you put it in the wood, that'll all disappear. But unlike a chisel bit or square ground chain, this point, you're not the file. It doesn't file up to the point of the chain. It goes below it about half of the side plate, and so it creates that V down the side angle, not up to the point. And little story, I had someone, I don't recall exactly who it was, probably 2 or 3 years ago, I had mentioned in a class about square ground, and I think they had interest in it, so I gave them one of the chisel bit files, and I saw him again at another function, show or something, and he came in there. He said, I brought my chain. I wanted to show it to you, see if I'm doing it right. And he showed me the chain, and I said, it's close, but you got to take that corner side of the file and go up to the point. You're below it. And basically, it looked exactly like this hexa chain. And I have taken the chisel bit file and set a chain or two up with it just to see if it could be done with that file, and it can. But I remember his words. I told him it wasn't exactly right, but his words were, well, it cuts real good. It cuts real good. And I found out now with this and looking at it myself in the wood, it does cut real good. Quite interesting what you can learn. And I've also found out from a gentleman up in Canada that there's a racing chain, basically, that it uses the chisel bit files, but it sets the teeth up exactly like this for racing. And that kind of proves the point that they think it's a fast cutting chain compared to the round ground. I think I'm about getting those side angles back there now, but this file is just really wore on that lower side there. Chain's definitely back 50% now. I think with that file, that's about all I can get on that. Some of them look pretty decent, but I want to check the depth gauges now. And I use this particular type of plate most of the time, and it takes each tooth independently. I find it works as long as you got a good sharp file. Takes it off pretty good. You want to try to keep it as this takes each tooth in relationship to the height of the point. So it kind of compensates for having one tooth longer or a regular file plate or gauge it. You try to keep the teeth a little bit closer together as far as length goes. The height of the point makes a big difference there. Because it doesn't take off quite as much outside to inside because you're fighting against the chrome, plus it probably dulls the file a little bit more. But I'll take a little bit off that way, and then come back and check them from the other side. I'm going to take and just go around that one side a little bit, around that little flat spot off. Doesn't take much just to keep that same radius the front of the tooth, or the front of the depth gauge actually. Alright, I think that's got it. I think hopefully you understand how this can work, and I think you'll find that it's going to be quite a nice setup once we get these things available in the States. But I'm going to take it, it's raining a little bit today. Tomorrow I'm going to try to set up and put this chain in some hardwood and see how it works. MS362C. It has the Hexa Rapid Super chain, 63 gauge, 20-inch bar, and so we're going to see how it works here on this gum log. Change it over to Oregon 20-inch bar and chain, and 72 LG. So this chain, 72LG, it has not been sharpened other than by the factory, and so but it a little bit more aggressive in this softer hardwood, but it did a pretty good job. But I think the Hexa chain back, as far as it is very smooth and bores very well. So I'm quite impressed with how it works. So this is an oak, came down in the spring, and I've cut up some of the firewood, but we'll give this a little bit of cut, see how it does. This is some dried oak. I'm using the Oregon 72LG first. This is a STIHL Rapid Super Hexa, and this one's been sharpened several times. So it's a very smooth chain. It has good boring capabilities. I think it's going to end up being a lot easier to sharpen. You know, I'm not the best at it, but I do think that understanding how the chain works and making things, you know, as it is designed is really the key to getting that chain to cut in all types of wood. You know, whether it's hardwood or softwood, as you probably saw there from the video, the soft hardwood actually pulls the chain and chainsaw down more than what you would have with a hardwood. You know, it can't take too much of a bite on either one and be effective, so it's quite interesting to have the chain set up properly. You know, all types of wood, very important. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope it's a good comparison. I'll be doing more as we get along with the chain a little farther. I've cut in probably at least 10 to 12 different wood types with the chain over the past few months, and it works very well. I've done bore cuts with new users and very experienced users. They're all very impressed with the chain as the speed of cut and the smoothness. It's going to be a good one. As you can see here, the real proof is in the chips, and both of these chains, we're making some pretty good ones. We've got some doubles, we've got some singles. You know, it's amazing when you start to think about how much work that chain can do for you if it's sharp. Very fortunate to have this type of design and new designs coming to be able to keep us cutting fast and cutting safe. Those are two very aggressive chains to work with, but they bore well, they cut fast, soft and hardwood, and so it's a lot of past experience that makes it pay off for us. I hope that you've enjoyed this little segment. Please press like if you enjoyed it. And also subscribe, tell your friends, and have them subscribe also. I'm trying to pass along as many tips as I possibly can and trying to maintain safety out in the field with chainsaws. This is TIM ARD, wishing you a great day and good sawing along the ForestApps Road.